Rama Rama. So let's see the sloka and the translation first. Arjuna Vacha Evam Satata Yukta Ye Bhakta Tvam Paryupasate Ye Cha Api Aksharam Avyaktam Esham Ke Yogi Vittama. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Arjuna inquired, which is considered to be more perfect, those who are always properly engaged in your devotional service, or those who worship the impersonal Brahman, the unmanifested. So we see here that there are two paths. One is the absolute truth, like serving the Lord in the personal form. And the other path is the serving impersonal Brahman form. So Lord is describing here there are two ways you can actually reach him. And so that is what Arjuna is also inquiring. He is inquiring about which is the best one. So generally what happens when we want to go somewhere, we try to find out different options, which is more smoother, so that our journey is more smooth, which is why we consider the various time taken to reach that particular place and what are the obstacles or what are the ways we can actually reach when you want to reach to some particular destination. So Lord is saying here that there are two ways you can actually reach me. One is the personal form, through my personal form, and one is through the impersonal form. So to understand this, what is this personal form and the impersonal form? So basically the personalist, also called as bhaktas. So bhaktas are devotees. So they generally directly serve the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So those are called as personalist or bhaktas because they serve directly Lord's personal form. And the other type of people are called as impersonalist. They are like yogis who do the meditation and they don't serve directly. They serve the indirect forms like the light, and the process is doing some kind of meditation. So they more believe on the unmanifested Brahman. The unmanifested Brahmans are like the spiritual light. So they don't directly serve Krishna. That is why Arjuna here he is asking which is the best out of these two. And Lord is saying the bhakti is supreme. So this text clearly states that among all the ways to realize the absolute truth, bhakti yoga, that is the devotional service to Krishna, is the highest and is the best. So if someone truly wants to be with Supreme Lord, they must practice the devotional service. Right? So that is how Arjuna's question is like asking Krishna which path is better. So he's clarifying his doubt, and Krishna is saying Bhakti Yoga is the most topmost. And we have seen that in Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna is consistently teaching and he is reminding us. So the text reminds us that Krishna has been teaching throughout this Bhagavad-gītā. So if you see in chapter 2, what Lord is saying, We are the spirit souls, not the body. The absolute truth is spiritual. That was described by Lord in chapter number 2. And then if you see chapter number 6, in chapter number 6, it is describing the most perfect yogi is the one who always think of Krishna within. And then in chapter number 7, it is describing that we are the part of Supreme Whole. We should focus fully on Him, that is Krishna. And then chapter number 8, there it is describing anyone remembering Krishna at the time of death, he goes to his supreme abode. So you see that every chapter points to being devoted to Krishna's personal form as the highest goal. Right? And we have also seen in some of the slokas that this impersonal form worshipping, there is a lot of challenges. You have seen that people go to Himalayas, right? And going to Himalayas and meditating, then, or you meditate somewhere else, the things are very difficult. The Maya keeps on troubling us. It keeps on diverting us, right? Even a lot of people in Bhakti, direct Bhakti also people face so many challenges. Sometimes they have some physical problems, some they have some calamities. So what to talk about worshipping the impersonal form? There the challenges are much more higher. And Prabhupada is saying it is just simply waste of time. See, because we have very limited time. We don't know whether next second we will exist or not. That is why Srila Prabhupada says that Krishna Bhakti is not a option, but it is an emergency actually, right? It is not optional or something, okay, I will do it later. I will do it in the old age. We have seen that how, Prahlad Maharaj, from age of 5, right? He was preaching that we have to do it now. It is an emergency. So there are multiple stories in Bhagavatam as well, where it is perfectly illustrated the same teaching about this personal devotion form, that is bhakti to Lord Krishna, is superior to impersonal meditation. So some of the story, if we can recollect in Bhagavatam from chapter, the canto 10th, chapter 13, where there is a story of Lord Brahma and the missing boys and the calves. So where once Brahma, he was having immense power, right? He can actually create so many things. So he himself was in doubt and he wanted to actually see the power of Lord. And he tried to actually vanish all by stealing Krishna's calves, companions, right? He's all the gopas and gopis. He vanishes them. But what was Krishna's response? Krishna, he was Supreme Personality. He, without any effort, he expanded himself into identical copies, the way we do Xerox, right? If we have some matter of truth, we take it to the photocopy shop and we bring out the Xerox, multiple copies and distribute. So like that, Krishna also, without any effort, he expanded himself into identical copies. And then Brahma realized, when he returned back, he was very much bewildered. He was surprised. He was surprised by seeing this Maya. He was completely amazed that everything is as it is in multiple forms. There is no, Krishna was not surprised or he was not frustrated. He just expanded himself. And that way, Brahma also realized. So as we know that Brahma also used to meditate. He is constantly meditating, right? So not only that, so that is one incident. It shows that impersonal power is insignificant before the personal Lord. And then we saw in Bhagavatam Canto 3, chapter 15, where four Kumaras, these four Kumaras are nothing but Sanaka, Sanakananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumar. They were great sages, right? And they were born from Lord Brahma's mind. And they used to constantly meditate the impersonal form. And they heard about Lord glories and they were very curious. They wanted to see Lord. So they traveled through the cosmos and they arrived in Vaikuntha, the spiritual abode of Lord Narayana. And when they reach there, they see these two divine doorkeepers. Who were the two divine doorkeepers? If we can recollect, who are these two?
Jaya and Vijaya.
Yeah, correct. So they were the two great sages, right? Actually, so they were the doorkeepers. And these four Kumaras, due to their impersonal mindset, they were in a lot of pride. And they thought these gods are just, ordinary material, because their perspective was from this material point of view. These gods are very ordinary. And this god, when they objected Kumaras to stop them, and these Kumaras, they cursed the god. Both the gods, this Kumara cursed, and they said that you will fall from Vaikuntha. And after hearing that, Lord Narayana himself appeared. Because as we know that Lord cannot see any devotee's pain. So when Kumaras cursed these gods, Lord Narayana rushed towards those gatekeepers, towards these Kumaras. And the moment these four Kumaras saw Lord's form, because these four Kumaras used to be always meditate in the impersonal form. And the moment they see this personal form, they forget everything. They were transformed into loving devotees. So that is why this personal association or darshan, this personal association is also called as darshana, appearing, right? So that is why this personal association is so important. So the Lord personal form actually awakens. It awakens love impossible through formless meditation, actually. And then we also see Dhruv Maharaj. Even Dhruv Maharaj, we saw in Bhagavatam Canto 4 that he was actually started with pure meditation, right? And how he transformed from this pure meditation to pure devotee. What was the motivation behind that? Again, there are always some motivation, right? So young Prince Dhruva was deeply hurt. He was hurt by his stepmother and he was wanting power. And he wanted power which was much greater than his forefathers. And guided by this great sage Narada, he undertook severe meditation, tapasya. And this tapasya he was doing in the impersonal form, formless aspect of Lord. And then finally what happened? Lord appeared. And the moment Lord appeared, that was the motivation point. And Dhruv Maharaj have this transformation. Seeing the beautiful Lord, Dhruv Maharaj heart completely changed. So the lesson here is, again, Dhruv Maharaj started with impersonal meditation driven by material desire. We see many people, right? They go to Tirupati not for serving Lord, but for material gain. Ki, oh Lord, I am giving you 10,000 rupees. Give me 1 crore. We have seen so many people, especially in South, it is very popular. You see businessmen, they carry briefcase which contain bundle of 500 rupees notes. They go to Tirupati and they donate. Only the intention is to get a return. So that we are seeing in this first shloka, right? And when you go to the second shloka, in second shloka, Shri Bhagavana Vacha. So Lord is saying, Mai Avvesha Manayet Am Nitta Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Paraya Upayata Te Me Yuktama Mata. So here, Mai means onto me. And then this word Nitya Yukta. Nitya Yukta is always in service of Lord in some or other way. That means devotees are constantly engaged in some or other way in the service of Lord. They are always serving. So they want to be eternally engaged. So such biggest example of eternally serving Lord, eternally engaged in Lord is, we can see how Srila Prabhupada, all the time he is engaged in the service. Right from early morning, he used to get up, he used to do first translation. He finished the translation of all these Vedas into a simple form so that people like us can understand. Then he finished this translation and go to Mangalarti. Then he finish Mangalarti, then he do his japas. And once he finish his japas, he take classes. So you see, the type of service is not changing. But for whom this service is, that remains same. There is no change. All these services are towards Lord. But these services are different. So in that case, what will happen? There is no scope of serving Maya. So remember, we discussed this in the past. If you are not serving Lord, then you are serving Maya. So this particular art we have to learn from Srila Prabhupada and from the senior devotees. Like Haridas Thakur, he used to constantly japa all the time. But for most of us, we can do japa all the time, right? Especially like for the grihasthas, they have other duties to be performed. But even doing 16 round of japa, it is very challenging for us. Why? Because a simple reason is we have very lesser taste. And our mind needs variety. As we know that mind is the biggest enemy and mind is the biggest friend. And only way to control mind is through intelligence. Only through intelligence you can control your mind. So morning is the good time for japa and especially reading Bhagavatam. And after 9 p.m., generally Rajoguna starts. So all actionable items or the action related activity we should do. But again, not the material, not the self-serving activities. So Srila Prabhupada used to say कि morning and evening do Shravanam and Kirtanam. So if evening is Krishna Bhavana, then morning also will become automatically Krishna consciousness. That is what Srila Prabhupada used to say. So that is why in the evening also we should always do some kirtan on some Shravanam. So we may say different reasons. I have office, I have this, I have that. But we have to apply our intelligence and see how our mind is engaged some or other way. Even if we have seen so many ways where even doing our material work, how we can actually remember Krishna. And there, Srila Prabhu gave so many good examples where he's saying when you are going in scooter, what happens when you are going in scooter somewhere? If you have any doubt that this particular road or this particular path is not proper, you immediately press brake, or somebody immediately comes in front of you, you immediately press brake because there is a doubt. So when there is a doubt, you press the brake. And when there is no doubt, the road is clear, you press accelerator. So more trust we have, our bhakti also will be more intense. Lord says, those whose mind and senses are in Lord's service, those people are his favorite. So that is what we are seeing in this translation also, right? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, those who fix their mind on my personal form and are always engaged in worship me with great and transcendental faith are considered by me to be the most perfect. So Lord says, whose mind and senses are in Lord's service, those people are his favorite. So you see, when we do or when we say puja, this is what called puja, is nothing but serving Lord. So serving Lord or doing puja, there are different ways. Different person do a different form. So it doesn't mean ki only pujari is doing puja. Some person bring fruits, serve fruit to Lord. Some person do singing or kirtan. Some person may do arti. So these are different or different forms of puja. But in Kali Yuga, the actual recommendation is japa. If you do japa, that is all. You don't need anything else if you are properly doing your japa. That is recommended for Kali Yuga. Like that in Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, there are different recommendations to serve Lord. But in Kali Yuga, it is the most easiest doing japa. See, anywhere you don't have to go to Himalayas to do japa. You don't have to go to temple to do japa. You don't have to go to any sacred place also to do japa. Anywhere you can just sit and start. Any remote place, any crowded place. If your mind is completely on Lord and you start doing japa, that is one and all. Rest, anything you do is just bonus. But we have to remember that the quality of japa, there should not be any compromise. Many people are sleeping doing japa. Some people are like how the machine gun bullets are fired, they are chanting like that. So Prabhupada clearly mentioned that. You have to properly pronounce this 16 word letter of japa. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So it should come out clearly. You should, at least if people are not listening. So ideally, japa should be loud enough, because if it is loud enough, you are also beating Maya, right? If you are chanting in inside without pronouncing it loudly, the mind also will trick you. It will divert you to different places. It will not take only to Delhi or Bombay. It will take you to London and bring you back. That one level is mind. Or some people say, ki, oh, when I do japa, I get a very nice sleep. So during night, I start doing japa because I will get a good sleep faster. So we have to understand this, ki the quality of japa is very important. Either you sleep or you do japa. Also, Srila Prabhupada says in Krishna consciousness, either you get surprises. When you get surprises, and what is the effect of getting these surprises? So basically, who actually get these surprises? Whose expectations are very high. And what happens as a result? They leaves actually. So only those people get surprises, and those people actually leaves also. And people who have less expectation, they stays back. So like there was one story Srila Prabhupada was giving. A devotee came to Srila Prabhupada and he was saying, ki, I like Lord Shiva. So Prabhupada asked, why you like Lord Shiva so much? And he replied that, ki, after worshipping him, my daughter's marriage happened. I got a very good job and I got so many things. And then Srila Prabhupada said, that means you are not actually worshipping Lord Shiva. You are actually worshipping your desires. Right? So Lord Shiva fulfills all material desire. But we have to understand that these material miseries will be still there. What are these material miseries? Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi. That Lord Shiva cannot take away from you. Though he may, so powerful that he may serve or fulfill your material desire. And once one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, today I am not in a position or in a mood to go to temple and do pranam. And Srila Prabhupada said, nobody cares. You just do it. Why? Because our own happiness or self-serving does not actually matter. What actually matter is in bhakti, especially we are talking about bhakti here. In bhakti, what matters is what Krishna feels. It's not that I go to the kitchen and start thinking what today I want to eat or what my family want to eat. We have to see what Krishna likes, how he will be happy, how I can serve him. So that is what actually is Krishna commitment. It may not come immediately. Initially, people, when they hear all this, they think, oh, what is this nonsense actually? So all this intense bhakti comes gradually. When you first start anyway with meditating. It doesn't matter actually how we have seen Dhruv Maharaj. He also started with meditating first. And definitely we have self-doubt. We have doubt with Krishna, like Brahma also doubted, right? So all these things will happen when those exalted devotees just see the power of Brahma, how much powerful he is. He can create anything. See the intense bhakti of Dhruv Maharaj, see the intense bhakti of Prahlad Maharaj. When Brahma, Dhruv Maharaj, they themselves were at some point they were in doubt. Char Kumaras, they were also in doubt at some point of time. Then ordinary human beings like us will definitely have so many doubts. But we have to start at one point and on gradual practice. Everything comes with practice. All this. So when you climb in a staircase, it's not that you immediately reach onto the first floor. If you are not reaching in a moment in the first floor, you feel like giving up. But always we have to take one step. So anything we want to achieve, we have to go stepwise. Like that, japa is the best first step, right? We start with one round, then we gradually make it to the two round, and then four, then eight, and then 16, minimum 16. And so when we talk about 16, it doesn't mean ki 16 is the maximum and then we stop. 16 is something which is recommended. If you see in Gaudiya Math culture, there Bhakti Vinod, he was initially recommended 64 round. So Prabhupada said, okay, since he went to Western countries and those people, it was very difficult for them to do it. He discounted it to 32. And then that itself was very difficult for them. Not only for them, even for us, we feel so difficult who are going to office and other. So Srila Prabhupada discounted it to 16. And even in 16, we are struggling. So all these actually difficulties can be solved through taking baby steps. So these are the two shloka that we covered, where Arjuna is asking which is the best path, whether serving Lord in the personal form or the impersonal form. And Lord clearly given us the remedy that serving directly to him, that is through bhakti yoga, is the best and the easiest way we can reach to Lord. The way we see, if we want to go to, let's say, Delhi from Bangalore, we have different option through rail, through road, through air. Air is the best option because it is the fastest way. Though you have other options, Like that, you have the impersonal meditating options and many others option, but bhakti option is the best and the fastest and the easiest also. So that Krishna is mentioning in multiple chapters. So that is about these two shlokas here. If any doubt, we can discuss, or you want to share something, we can discuss. Hare Krishna. So tomorrow is also Ekadashi, and tomorrow we'll not have the regular Gita class, but we'll have the Ekadashi Katha, and we will also cover one of the very important topic. Prabhupada, along with Japa, he has mentioned 4 regulative principles. And tomorrow's topic will be like how this 4 regulative principle, by following this 4 regulative principle that is recommended by Srila Prabhupada, how this can give us freedom. So along with Ekadashi Katha, we also will have this 4 regulative principle for freedom. So please don't miss it.
Thank
Okay.
you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Kalyani Mata.